What's up guys, this is Woolf from Scratch and welcome back to another Civ 5 guide. Sorry these haven't been going up, had a lot on my plate recently, so let's just get straight into this. Let's shake with Shaka, the Zulus.
In changes throughout the Zulu Silver. It was your tenacity in the art of war that truly on the battlefield forever changed the face of combat across the plains of southern Africa. Most formidable king, your people once again long for the unity and strength your leadership afforded them. Can you return the Zulu kingdom to such great prominence? Will you build a civilization that stands the test of time?
So, the Zulu special ability, as you can see, is Ikalwa. I can't pronounce it. Ikalwa. Where their melee units cost 50% less maintenance, and all other units require 25% less experience to earn their next promotion. So already you can see that the Zulu are able to field a much larger army due to the less constricting economic effects they have. The maintenance costs, which are always a big factor to play when having an army in a general game. So the Zulu can field twice as many melee units. The units can get 25% more experience, which means you should be able to get those great promotions such as Siege, Range, March, etc. So we already see a military-oriented playstyle. The only thing I'll add before I go into their special, unique building is that the Zulu start bias is as far away from jungle as possible.
With a spear 11 cubits long in his hand, the bronze point gleamed in front of him and was fastened to the shaft of the spear by a ring of gold.
So upon researching bronze working, you'll unlock the Zulu unique building, which is the Ikanda. This replaces the barracks, as you can see. But the unique thing about this is that it will grant, as you can see, unique promotions to pre-gunpowder melee units. These unique promotions I will show you later on in this guide, but it means that it gives a rather unique features to your military. Most of these involve flanking bonuses, and in a sense similar to what we saw in Indonesia, but I would say a bit more useful to campaigning. Bronze working is also a great technology for Zulu as it comes to statue of Zeus, which as you can probably see and imply already, the Zulus are a warmongering civilization. It also comes with the Spearman, which is the early descendant of your unique unit, which I'm going to show you. I was going to show you how the Ikanda works. So upon building any unit, as with a barracks or armory, military academy, etc., you'll start with promotions, as you've got drill, shock, as well as the special promotions that have given me by the Zulu unique building, the Ikanda. In this case, it's Buffalo Chest, 10% combat strength with fighting in open terrain, which is of course no heals, forest or jungle, as well as a flanking bonus, which is increased by 25% rather than the standard, as well as a 10% defense against all ranged ranged tanks. So this is going to be very useful, and in fact they come in quite nicely. I also get buffalo horns from being built in the city with an Ikanda, which gives me an extra movement point and a flank attack bonus increased by 25%, and the 10% defense against all ranged attacks. This is all. I'm pretty sure this stacks with the Buffalo Chest. So we've got ourselves some really interesting units, which can't be built, of course, by other civilizations, which will come in very handy with our unique unit, the Impi, which, as I just said last time, but this time for real. So upon researching civil service, you'll unlock the Zulu unique unit, which to much avail is the Impi. The Impi replaces the pikeman, and it's rather unique because it essentially does 2 attacks in the one turn on the one target. It does this, oops, medieval. It does this by I'll show you. There it is, upgraded. It does this by throwing spears, as you can see, and then going in for melee. And I'll show you this in the flesh, and I'll find a target. Probably the Celts, most likely. They look the most appetizing. But it can be. This is quite. Essentially, 2 attacks in one turn is quite invaluable. It has the same strength as a regular pikeman, but it lasts for a very, very long duration of the game. In fact, the MP does not upgrade to lancers as a regular pikeman would. It upgrades to riflemen. And along with its buffalo promotions, you can really have an effective fighting force for a very long time. If you've played Scramble for Africa scenario, you'll know how useful these units are against the upper tier riflemen and so on. So, and because it's cheap, like a regular pikeman, it really means you can swarm your enemies with these units. Right, so I feel it's quite fitting to end and summarize the Zulu civilization just as I'm about to begin war and, well, the first wave of many conquests across the continents. The special ability of the Zulus allow you to have a much larger army. In fact, double the amount of melee units, which means for a normal civilization can hold three pikemen for the cost, whereas the Zulu are able to field 6. Now this is quite a lot, especially when in that era Zulu have the Impi, a fantastic unit which is perfectly capable of decimating the battlefield, as Boudica will soon find out. Right, skip that last part. As you can see, bang, goes in, and then it goes in for the attack. Now looking at the effect of this, let's have a look. Regular, we'd see about, this health should normally be at half. It's at red. We've done 2 attacks in the 1 turn. On a more advanced unit, such as swordsman, we have half health. Over 2 attacks, we've got it down to a quarter. And with the help of this catapult here, with the help of this catapult, it's not required. Little thing we just found out, the ranged attack does not count. So there we go. You're learning things every day. The strategy with the Impis, and to be honest, the Zulus are designed for a domination victory. You have to be stupid not to recognize that. With their special units, and even their barracks, which give their units unique promotions. The fact that the Impi is a pikeman unit means it's quite cheap to produce, especially in the later era of the game, so you can pump them out 1-2 turns a session. I'm playing on quick, so for me, it's about 2 turns? Or 3 turns, sorry, in my capital, at the moment, at 710 AD. When we're talking Middle Ages and well into the Renaissance, they should be pumping out 1 turn each. This is not just on quick as well. So, along with basic warmongering strategies and all the knick-knack that go with that, the Zulu and their strategy of war is revolving around a Zerg rush, and if I can use that StarCraft reference, essentially Zerg rush your enemies with the Impis, and you will have a lot of success. The AI Shaka is very good at Zerg rushing, and he will do that a lot, especially if you're his neighbor. If Shaka is your neighbor, essentially do the same strategy as if Montezuma was there. Do not trust him, he will come for you. So watch out, and especially for the Impi. The best thing to do against the Impi is to hold your ground, and maybe fall back to your city radius where you can absolutely start picking them off. In open fields, especially plains combat, the Impi will do incredibly well, and it will decimate you. The Impi will last their effectiveness will last for a very long time. So just because you have musketmen doesn't mean you should underestimate them. When in force, beware. The final note I will add to Zulu strategy is that just because you're a domination civ doesn't mean you don't have to go out guns blazing. Now, even though the Impy, the pikeman replacement, is an early game replacement, if we look at the tech tree, it's not in this domination bottom section here, steel and gunpowder. It's in the middle, which means to get to it, you're going to pick up a few the middle section techs. And it almost getting there as well, I also advise getting a few other ones, such as engineering, possibly calendar and optics, as well as the obvious ones of mathematics, horseback riding, construction and masonry. Just because it gives you the time to build your empire. To open up, I've gone Liberty, grabbed the free settler and worker, as well as the production bonus, and then I've gone Honor, as you can see. Later on for ideologies, I will go Autocracy, and I might pick up Commerce as well, just so I can earn a bit extra gold, and probably open Rationalism as well. So, there it is, the Zulus, led by Shaka, the Zerg Rush Civilization from Civilization 5. That's my review. Sorry about the late delay. Probably to make up for this, I will release double episodes of Democracy 3 and Rome 2 as well, so look out for those on the appropriate days. Next up, as I probably mentioned, is the Byzantine Civilization led by Theodora, so tune in for that next week. Thanks for that. Woolf out.